Hello, welcome. This is Si Wing Yi from the Yi Real Estate Network. Welcome to another podcast episode of real estate investing. And the title to this podcast is New Builds, New Construction, the best asset class, single family home at this moment. All right, so before I go there, again, although we're based here in California, I've been living here in California for more than 30 years, and I still do live here, although I do not necessarily spend all 12 months here in the Bay Area, although, so I spend my time in many different areas, vacationing, cruising, and in the other vacation homes that I own in other part of the country. But again, on this short video, before I will talk about what I mean by the best new construction, new builds, single family home is the best asset class for real estate investors. Before I go there and before I show you the actual house, the actual location, and the actual cash flow pro forma analysis, I want to just share with you what's happening in my neck of the woods. It just is totally, absolutely insane. All right. So without further ado, let me just. Okay, without further ado, let me go over. Oh my gosh. Let me go over one example of what's going on here in the Bay Area, all right? And of course, everybody knows the Bay Area housing cost is just insane, right? And let me give you just one example. I know the Bay Area is very large. It all depends on what neighborhood, what location, what city in the Bay Area that, where housing prices has been insane, not just right now, but for the past millennium. But I just want to go with this example. Now, it's funny, I'm going to target Oakland. I mean, I'm talking, this is a home buyer market, right? If your investors stay away from not only Bay Area, but in California. I've been telling people for the past 20 years, but I'm just giving you a high level example what owner-occupied primary buyers are facing and the challenges. Although the prices will be, it's insane, but I could make the argument that the examples I'm showing you is a reflection of throughout the US, what's happening in every market, right? In all 50 states, for that matter. So it's funny that coincidentally, this property I'm going to show you is in Oakland area. Now, for those of you who do not understand what's going on with California, Oakland, which is in the Upper East Bay, maybe like 45 minutes from San Jose, and right across the bridge, the Bay Bridge, from Oakland to San Francisco. But Oakland, just to let you know, I mean, historically speaking, it's a rough neighborhood, right? For many, many years. We all hear about it, one of the highest crime area, very, very rough neighborhood. I mean, it's just for many, many years, ever since I've been here more than 30 years ago. But now, slightly changed. I mean, I wouldn't say slightly, it has changed with the gentrification and what have you. But still, to this day, there's still a lot of crimes. We hear it all the time from the news media. A lot of crimes, a lot of murders and everything else still going on. But in Oakland, we can't paint a picture. Oakland, the entire city is bad, but certain part of the city is up and coming. But for the most part, it's still, the perception is it's not a very desirable place to live. But having said that, just go to show you some of these buyers, even for myself, I just do not understand. Why are they making these kind of decisions? So in this one example right here, I know some people very close to me are trying to buy a single family home to live, all right? Very close. You might say it's a family member. So this is so I'm giving you some reality, the real truth of what's going on here, for a while now, including this past year, 2021. Now, this particular house is a 2-bedroom, 2-bath, is 1,200 square foot, very small cookie cutter house in this area. And it was listed, I think, around 3 months ago for around 749,000. I mean, don't quote me, I'm not sure. So it was, so at the end of the day, this house was built like 100 years ago, whatever, right? It's been rehabbed, it's been upgraded, I mean, so forth and so on. I mean, this little cookie cutter, small little fixer upper in the, like, I would make the argument it's a C+ to B- neighborhood. It was listed for around the mid 700s. Look at here. Recently, last week, you closed escrow at 1.16. So typically there are like 10 to 15 offers that had just occurred with this particular house. So we're talking 750, 250, 350, like $400,000 above asking was the final closing of escrow. For somebody willing to pay $400,000 above and beyond the listed price around 749. I mean, this is insane, right? Who will want to buy this? And I have to believe the winning offer is probably paying all cash. Someone out there, whether they are idiot or not, in my humble opinion, are willing to pay potentially all cash for $1.16 million here in the area, in a location. To me, I don't think it's desirable. I wouldn't want to pay that much. Look at the school rating. The rating of 2, at the Zillow, the rating from 1 to 10, 10 being the best school district, 1 being the lowest, is a rating of 2. And then it doesn't even have a rating of junior high school or regular high school. But I have to suspect it's a rating of a 3 out of 10, which is very, very low. So very, very bad school district, and people willing to pay all cash because it is absolutely crazy. And the neighborhood is not all that great. So in fact, let's go over the neighborhood. I know Oakland, fairly well because, like I said, I'm a licensed real estate broker here in California, but I'm not a realtor. So I don't sell local houses. I sell turnkey investment homes out of state in the best cash flow markets, but I'll get to that later. But look at the location of this property. Yeah, I mean, if you look at Oakland, right, in the East Bay, San Francisco, of course, San Francisco is on across the Bay Bridge, as you can see, right here. So, and of course, Oakland's right here. But let me give you a snapshot. The areas that are, are like better neighborhoods are we're talking like in the hills, Oakland Hills, right? Oakland Hills, like Piedmont and Montclair, as you can see right here, by the hillside, and by the freeway toward the mountain, toward the hills, on this corridor is it's a little bit better neighborhood. But if you're getting close to the freeway, 880 up and now 880, I mean Oakland, MacArthur Boulevard, Foothill Boulevard, these places are very, very rough. I mean, it's a for the lack of a better word, is ghetto. All right. So that's my take on it. I mean, they are very similar homes. A lot of homes, like a lot of similar homes in this area, same. List price of 750, maybe 800. The final sales price of 1.2. I mean, I don't know about you, but if you look at a house, there's nothing. There's nothing really, to me, is desirable. I mean, they did a lot of upgrades, but if you go back like 4 or 5 years ago from today, this house is probably valued at maybe 300,000. So in a mere 3 to 4 years, this house was worth from 300,000 in my estimation to almost 1.2. This is absolutely mind-boggling. So that's what's happening. Low inventory, high demand, low interest rate, and people in high tech here in the Bay Area, they have the money. I don't know who they are, but most likely they're millennials. They're working with one of the, startups, high tech companies in the area, and maybe they receive some kind of IPO shares so they made a windfall. So anyway, I wouldn't spend $1.2 million cash to buy this rinky-dink 100-year-old house in a C- neighborhood, in the rough neighborhood of Oakland, such a small little house, barely 2-bedroom. Okay, so I rest my case. Okay, you guys don't want to hear any more than that, right? I mean, it's just going to show you it is just insane out there. So I'm here to tell you that, I have hopefully a better solution for you, right? I mean, otherwise, what's the whole purpose? So when I say new builds is the best asset class, and I mean it, right? I mean, people know, again, I'm not going to spend 1 hour or 2 hours to explain to you about the new construction of homes, right? I mean, for home buyers out there, right now, as we are in January 2022, I mean, we're seeing even lower inventory level than we have seen last year, 2021, at the same time this year. This is insane. There's almost no homes to buy right now as in January. Now, some of you are thinking, oh, maybe, a few months later, when people will put their home on the market. But the question is going to be impactful? I don't think so. We're going to continue to see extreme low inventory, extremely low, almost none out there, and the demand is still sky high. As long as the interest rate is not going to be over 4%, whatever, we still see some huge uptake around prices. All right, so again, I'm not going to talk about the analysis, technical issues, and here and there, but all I'm saying is, for regular home buyers out there, it's extremely difficult to buy a home, whether it's a resale or new build, right? But for investors, okay, again, my goal, my purpose of doing all these hundreds and hundreds of videos on YouTube and to my investment club that I run as well for our couple of thousand member buyers, it's just 2022 could be very challenging. So new builds is number one for home buyers out there anywhere in the country is very, very hard to find because they don't build enough of these. And the builders, the nationwide builders, D.R. Horton, KB Homes, right? The new builders, they are building high-end homes because that's the only way they can make money. High-end home means $400,000 or $1,000 or higher, up to $1 million, right? So as investors, you can't, in order to cash flow, and I talk about this in many other videos, you have, as an investor, you buy a home that can cash flow. What does that mean? That means if you put 20 to 25% down payment, the rent you're charging to a tenant has to exceed your total debt obligations, your mortgage, taxes, insurance, property management fee, and incorporate some vacancy factors and maintenance factors as well. So at the end of the day, you should collect positive cash flow, a couple of $100 here and there, right? So that's the ideal world. So so it's very, very, the nationwide builders, they are not building entry-level homes, right? So the primary home buyers have very, very little access to new construction homes these days, anywhere in the country, right? Doesn't matter where. And the skyrocketing construction costs, the lumber costs, and the cost of constructing a home, the builders are the fact, in case you have not heard, the builders are raising their prices like, quite high, and the buyers are the recipient of the higher price. So new construction homes, especially in the good areas of the country, they anywhere really, they continue to rise at double-digit appreciation, equity growth. So risk investors, if you're going to go out there on your own, try to find a single-family home new build to buy. Well, not only you're not going to find something such a low price home that I'm going to show you, but most builders, they do not sell to investors, right? That's what's going on. They rather sell to primary home buyers. But if some of the mainstream builders, if they were to sell to investors, at least some of them, but the question is, the price it'll be too high. You will not be able to cash flow, because the sweet spot for buying a single family home as an investor for cash flow is probably under $350,000, because the rent, you have to compare the rent to value ratio, 1% or 0.07% of the purchase price equals your ideal gross monthly rent to achieve positive cash flow. So the best case scenario, again, I'm spending way too much time, so I want to conclude in the next 5 minutes. The best is to buy from a builder that will build those spec homes, the new builds specifically for investors. So, all right. So, and the secondarily is to hook up with a network such as us, the Real Estate Investment Club network, where we have a connection, a relationship with a local builder, or not all the time local builders. Sometimes the mainstream builders also build homes specifically for investors. So in this case, I would say this home or this builder are willing to spend to build 40, 50 homes, maybe less, for only investors. This is a build to rent business model. So before I go over the details of this type of homes, you will not, unless you have a connection with you are a member, you belong to a member of a real estate organization such as ours, you will not be able to find this kind of homes anywhere in the country, right? So your ability to hook up to a network, to get connections, to be part of a network is really is a valuable benefit. So with that said, this house is amazing, right? I mean, this house located in Florida, or Colorado to be specific, is brand new for investor only, three bedroom and 2 bath, right? For 1,323 square foot. It's selling for a mere $233,000. I mean, you will not see any new house that are being sold to investors at this low price anywhere in the country, not Florida, not Texas, not South Carolina, not anywhere in all the 50 states. And this is an amazing price, and this price will go up. So investors, all they gotta do, reserve the lot, and pay the 20% deposit, earnest money deposit, reserve the lot in here for one of these houses, and wait until the completion of the home. It could take 6 to 8 months for the home completion. So your 20% earnest deposit will be applied towards the financing of the house, the same 20%, right? So very rare opportunity. These houses will increase in value. I mean, you buying at below market value, probably you buy at 233. The appraised value of this lot, if you will, was probably like 240 or something. And by the time the house is completed, you do your financing, you close escrow somewhere in the summertime or the early part of the fall. But that 223 that you locked in at your price right now will probably could be worth more. I'm not gonna quote exact price because I don't have a crystal ball. No one does. So that's the value, right? I mean, it's a walking equity, if you will. All right. So very, very rare situation, and we specialize in out-of-state investing, turnkey cash flow with property management, all of the whole one-stop shop, all ready to go. I mean, you as an investor, regardless of where you live in the U.S., California, or anywhere else in the country, you have the ability to buy out-of-state, remote, almost past a really old, even though you're buying this house yourself, is under your name, 100% yours. It's just simply you go through a network like ours that have access to these great builders who are willing to build these kind of inexpensive homes, relatively speaking, for investors, so you can achieve your long-term growth. So at the end of the day, I'm going to give you the cash flow analysis. Again, I don't want to spend too much time on this podcast, but at 223,000 on the fact, by the way, Central Florida, in which Ocala is located, is one of the fastest growing area in the country. All right. Again, as an investor, do your own due diligence, do your own research, but clearly, this is one of the best, fastest growing real estate market in the country here in Central Florida, Ocala, Florida. So 223 price, and you put down 20%, and then your total out of pocket is $48,600, and it rents for approximately $1,650, probably more because there are rent inflation going on everywhere, the skyrocketing rent that's going on all over the country, and it's going to benefit landlords such as yourself. So $1,650 is a very conservative monthly rent, and you minus all the debt obligations, monthly expenses, and what have you. At the end of the day, in getting the tenant is really have not been any problem because there are not enough homes to rent, and you're going to have a lot of renters knocking down your door trying to rent your place. Okay, that's not a problem. So the vacancy is at a historical low. So monthly positive cash flow, $326. Okay, so I'm not going to spend any more time going through all the numerical numbers, which is all are very, very attractive on your own. You can read about it. But positive cash flow, walk-in equity, very low price, lock into your price, lock into your interest rate, and then invest for the long term, and you're gonna do well. Okay, so that's all I have. I mean, this kind of investment homes are very desirable. I mean, we always have more serious investors that want to buy the limited amount of lots available. So it's always like first come, first serve. That's the so. All right. So the next step is if you're super motivated, obviously, then you contact myself to get ready. You got to get the financing. I walk you through the process. Get the loan pre-approval. You got to be committed. If you're not that serious, it's okay to subscribe to my YouTube channel or just go into my website, the Year Real Estate Network, and place your name on our newsletter, free newsletter database. It doesn't cost anything to be on our membership list for our organization. Then all you gotta do is we have other markets that we're presenting in other areas of Central Florida, North Carolina, Alabama, Central Texas, Austin, San Antonio, and a few other places. So, okay, that's all I have to say. Sorry, this is a longer podcast than I care to make, but at the end of the day, the recap is the best asset class to achieve attractive return long term is new construction, which is very, very hard to get. It is a limited supply and extremely high demands by investors from all over the country. We're very lucky to have a network and relationship with builders in different market locations that will supply us with this limited amount of great, highly desirable rental homes for our investors so you can buy these kind of properties. All right, thank you so much. This is Si Wing Yi from the Year Real Estate Network. Good day, goodbye.